Alright guys, I'm going to go over my build, try to make this as quick as possible. I am using the all gold exotic build. I'm using the MDR and a burst rapid fire MP5. I am using the MDR with responsive, deadly, and distracted. Magazine size, crit chance, rate of fire, crit chance, crit damage, headshot, crit damage, headshot, crit chance, crit damage, stability, and reload speed. Stability is pretty good on this character. I really like it. Sometimes I switch out my backpack for stability. Just a little bit of stability always helps. I'm going to go over my stuff right now. I am using all firearms. I'm using Reckless, Health on Kill, and Health. It has ammo capacity. I do use firearms with crit chance instead of health. Feroz, crit chance, elite damage. Be nice if it had fire resist, but can't be too greedy. Firearms, short bow with crit damage, bleed and burn. XP's cool. Rather have shock. Specialized, crit damage, bleed resist. I got a lot of bleed resist for no reason. I do have skull MC gloves. I do not have assault rifle damage. It has crit chance and crit damage with health on kill. So all in all, I have about 8% health on kill. It does help a little bit, but not substantial in PvP. I am using nimble, which is a pretty good roll with crit chance. Obviously, all my prototypes are not self-heal, they're pulse crit hit chance. The reason why I do that is so that I can maximize my crit chance. The reason why I'm trying to maximize my crit chance is that I don't go for headshots. I do play on console. This is a console based build. The focus is to hit body shots. It's really hard to hit headshots. I do have a lot of headshot damage on this character. Sometimes if I do hit the headshot, it's pretty good. Usually I only hit the headshots if I'm using stability on my backpack, which I do switch over to quite often. So let's go over everything. I have about 30.5 crit chance. When I get into last stand, it goes to 33. Crit chance or crit damage goes up to 117. With my talents, I do use pulse with conceal. I like to, sneak up on people. Booster, just for the extra damage. I do not use it defensively. I use it mostly pretty much offensively, just to get the extra damage and DPS someone down. As you can see, my pulse is 17%. So 17 on 233 when I get into last stand, it brings it up to about 50% crit chance when in a fight. My talents, since I use nimble, I use tactical advance, complete a cover to cover. You get 2% damage for every meter for 5 seconds, which is cool because I'm gaining life at the same time. During cover to cover, I am reducing damage by 30%. Since I'm going cover to cover, I do like to have the extra recoil dampering. It does help when using the MDR and on the move. Those are my go-tos. I'd use no medical. If I start getting killed, I'm gonna die anyways because I'm so glass cannon. So yeah, you saw all the mods. It really doesn't matter about the mods on the MP5. Let's go over some other things on my character. I do have 100% sensitivities. That's because I use a Control Freak joystick extension. I basically tape two of them on top of one another on my right analog stick. I do have my dead zone to 0. There's no reason to have dead zone. As far as I'm concerned, you want as much control as possible. Aim assist is good when doing hip firing. I know they are going to make changes to that, which is good because a lot of people that I've been talking to have been having issues when people do not have aim assist on and you do have aim assist. When you go for hip fires, people are getting pushed up or down, or they're getting flipped around. in the case of me where I'll be fighting someone and I just get flipped 180 and it's just ridiculous. I put my ass to them and they just fuck me right real quick. So anyways, that's my build. My DPS goes up to 660. My toughness goes up to about 242 in last stand. Show you some damage numbers. So in the chest, do about 75 to 167. To the head, 124 or 241, and that's not obviously in last stand. In last stand, I can body shot people, do about 43, do about 50, depending on who I'm with. If I'm with one of my boys, he likes to run the attack build with pulse. That brings up my crit damage from 115, and it adds about 36, so it brings me up to about 150 crit damage, and it pretty much maxes out my crit chance. At that point, I do switch over to crit damage, since my crit chance is all the way filled up when I play with him. That adds more damage to my character. And then one thing about crit chance and crit damage is some people don't understand is they're both directly proportional to one another. And what I mean by directly proportional to one another is that the more crit chance you have, the more effective your crit damage becomes. I'll give you an example of two scenarios that do the same exact damage but in different ways. One that has 1% crit chance and 100% crit damage, and another one that only has one that has 1% crit damage, crit chance and 100% crit damage, and another one that has 100% crit chance and 1% crit damage. If you shoot 100 shots with both of them, they should essentially do the same amount of damage, just because in one case you have a 1% chance to do 100% damage, and in that case, in 100 bullets, you should do 100% more damage. And then the other one, you have 100% crit chance, but only 1% crit damage over every single shot. Over 100 shots, that's 100% more damage. So in those two scenarios, they're doing the same damage, and it's effectively 1% more damage overall. So if you look at it and you say, okay, well, I have 33% crit chance, and I have 115% crit damage. How effective is my crit damage? Well, you basically just go and do 115 times 0.33. Or in my case, in last stand, it's 117 times 0.33. I have effectively 38.61% effective damage increase based on my crit chance and crit damage. Now, if I used the other way around and I was using that crit damage scope, it'd be 28% crit chance with, let's see what it is. It would be about 132. So 132. So you go 132 times 0.28, and that's 36.9 damage increase. So it's about a little less than 2% less damage than if I was using the crit chance, which the crit chance is better anyways because it's more consistent damage over having higher crit damage over crit chance. I hope that makes sense. I know it sounds confusing, but it's basically you just take the crit damage and you multiply it by the percentage of crit chance that you have, and that gives you your effective damage if you were to just consistently shoot somebody. Anyways, that was my build. Subscribe if you want. I really don't care if you subscribe. This is just to show people my build. So yeah, take care.